Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. It's your dear big uncle Eli, and today I'm in the studio with no one else but the DFB director himself, Sire.
And you already know what time it is. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Yes,
Let's
you
go.
know what time it is. It is Wisdom Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
And we are giving you quotes from the tea master himself. Let us drink tea in respect to that. All right, today's quote is this: the longer you hold on to your suppressed feelings, the more they intensify. Exercise courage to face them and reclaim your power.
Right? I mean, we've touched on this multiple times in previous discussions.
Yes.
But, to shorten the discussion, and we've all been guilty of it, myself included, where something happened in the past, let's say, I don't know, maybe I was 10 years old, right? And it was something that was quote unquote negative, right? It was traumatic for me at that age, because at a 10-year-old development, this is a big thing, right? Now, looking at it at 40, it's not a big thing, but at that time it's big. So I internalized that experience and that trauma as a big thing for me, that I never fully addressed or resolved within myself. And now I went the next 30 plus years of my life, right, with this pent up emotion, this feeling based on this one experience and this traumatic event.
Yes.
Back then. And every time I think at 40 years now, like these people who have done said name act, they might not even be alive right now, right? Like I don't know where they are. But every time I revisit that in my memory, the emotional reaction from that same event, even, would be even more intense than when it actually happened back then. Because I've just suppressed it, and it's just built up and it's just stockpile. And there was no release valve.
Yes.
Right? Now you take that one event and then you multiply that over several events. And then you look at someone later on in life, and then now you can understand why they're almost like this built up pressure valve with no release, right?
Yes.
And so what does it take, to revisit some of those things? It takes courage. What does it take to actually look yourself and face yourself in the mirror and say, I'm not exactly who I pretend to be, right? It takes courage, right, to face yourself and actually say that and admit that. And it takes even more courage to even admit that to people close to you, right?
Yes.
But then the first step is now acknowledging that, facing it, and then now moving in the direction of resolving that. Like, how do you resolve it? You release the pressure valve, man. You let some of that stuff out, right? And there's many mechanisms that are out there that you can use to let that pressure out.
Yes.
So you can live a more healthily free, life, where you're now becoming more of yourself. You're becoming who you were meant to be.
Yes.
So yeah,
man, that is everything, man.
Yes.
You whatever happened to you, at whatever age, right?
Yes.
You give your energy to that.
Yes.
You have to go back and reclaim that energy.
Yes.
Because again, that is just gonna, help you live more healthier and more freely. Like you said, and it does take a lot of courage to do that.
Yes.
It does take a lot of courage. And if you're listening to this, you're watching this, I know you have courage, because it takes the courageous to come back and listen for wisdom of the tea master. It takes the courageous to check out deadlyfitbodies.com. Because let me tell you something, man. What you go through out here, oh man, you just have to visit. That is all. You just have to visit the website, or you just have to come back next week, Wednesday, for another quote from Wisdom of the Tea Master. Again, man, like we always used to do, from your dear big uncle Eli and your dear big director himself, Sire, we'll leave you with 3 words: desire, faith, and belief. Make sure to subscribe and like our podcast.